Hello everyone. I'm Bubbles from Susan's family. Today, I'll teach you how to make the Dunhuang series, Ethereal Guardian Dreamcatcher. For this electronic tutorial, you can search for susud.com on the website to view it. This product includes a Dreamcatcher, car hanging decoration, coaster, ear accessories, and sweater chain, all made up of fabric pieces and bead strings. Let's start with learning how to make the Dreamcatcher. It consists of the main piece, hanging decorations, and the hanging string. First, we'll make the main piece. It is composed of fabric pieces and decorative beads. The fabric piece uses the magic ring method. Follow the magic ring, form a loop. Several crochet stitches will be applied, all of which are marked in the pattern. I won't go through each one here. Now, let's show. Use the corresponding color of yarn to start with the magic ring. After completing it, begin the first round. Refer to the pattern. Start with 3 chain stitches as the turning chain for the double crochets. Then work 2 chain stitches for the connection. After completing it, work 1 double crochet. Then 2 chain stitches. We consider 1 double crochet and 2 chain stitches as a cluster. Here, we have completed 2 clusters. In this round, you need to make 8 clusters in total. Continue crocheting. And close the loop here. After completing it, count 3 chain stitches to the right from this double crochet stitch. At the 3rd chain stitch, pick up 2 threads and make a slip stitch to join. Slightly tighten it. Since the next round requires switching colors for crocheting, you need to break the yarn here. Then make a chain stitch to secure. Enlarge the loop. Leave a tail of 5-10 centimeters. Then cut off. Pull tight. Note: the side with a horizontal bar below the stitch is the wrong side. When crocheting, always keep the right side of the piece facing you. Start the second round, referring to the pattern. First, in the same insertion position, where you joined with a slip stitch in the first round, join the yarn with the corresponding color. After completing this, make 3 chain stitches as the turning chain for the double crochet. Then, crochet 4 more chain stitches to connect. After completing these, on this double crochet stitch on the left side, crochet 1 double crochet, leave the yarn tail for now. For the rest of this round, for each stitch, in the double crochet stitch from the first round, crochet 1 double crochet. After completing the double crochet, make 4 chain stitches to connect. Follow this method to complete the entire round. After completing it, in the third chain stitch, pick up 2 threads and join with a slip stitch. Then, fasten off the yarn normally. This way, the second round is completed. Continue to crochet the third round, first, using the corresponding color yarn. In the first round, join the yarn in the chain space on the left side of the turning chain. Note: the double crochets and chains from the second round should be placed in front. After completing it, refer to the chart. Make 2 chain stitches. Next, in this chain space, work an incomplete double crochet. Yarn over once. Insert the hook. Keep these yarn tails above the hook. Hide them as you crochet. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. That's an incomplete double crochet. Continue in this space. Work another incomplete double crochet. Including the turning chain. You have worked 3 incomplete double crochets here. Next, yarn over and pull through all loops at once. A clustered bobble stitch with 3 double crochets is now completed. Continue with 4 chain stitches for the connection. After completing, in the left chain space, work a bobble stitch with 3 double crochets. First, work 3 incomplete double crochets. Then yarn over and pull through all loops at once. Another clustered bobble stitch with 3 double crochets is now done. For the rest of this round, in the chain spaces from the first round, work a bobble stitch with 3 double crochets in each. Between each bobble stitch, connect with 4 chain stitches. Note: the third round is work behind the second round. Follow this method to complete this round. After completing the final 4 chain stitches, in the stitch of the first bobble, join with a slip stitch and fasten off the yarn. This way, the third round is completed. Next, move on to the fourth round. First, using the corresponding color of yarn, join the yarn in the hole on the right side of the turning chain from the second round. After completing this, refer to the pattern and make 4 chain stitches. Then, work a cluster of 4 treble crochets together in one stitch, which is a variation of the bobble stitch. We'll refer to this as the modified bobble stitch from now on. Start with an incomplete treble crochet, yarn over twice. Insert the hook into the hole where you joined the yarn. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again. Pull the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. This completes the incomplete treble crochet. Next, above the turning chain, work the second incomplete treble crochet. Yarn over twice. You can insert the hook into the same spot where you joined with a slip stitch. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over again. Pull the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. Repeat this process 2 more times. Another incomplete treble crochet is completed. Following the same method, in the chain space on the left side, work 2 more incomplete treble crochets. After completing them, yarn over and pull the yarn through the first 4 loops on the hook. You will have 2 loops remaining. Yarn over again and pull through all loops at once. This way, a variation of the bobble stitch is completed. Next, work 2 chains. You can see that these 2 vertical lines are the back ridge of the 2 chains. In the vertical line below, make a slip stitch. After completing it, work 4 more chains. Then in the chain space below, make a slip stitch. For convenience in explanation, we refer to this group of 4 chains, 1 variation of the bobble stitch, 2 chains, 1 slip stitch, 4 chains, and 1 slip stitch, as one cluster. Continue with the second cluster. 4 chains, 1 variation of the bobble stitch, which means, first make an incomplete treble crochet in this chain space, and this double crochet stitch. Then in the left chain space, make 2 more incomplete treble crochets. After completing those, yarn over, and pull the yarn through the first 4 loops. Yarn over again, and pull the yarn through all loops at once. Another variation of the bobble stitch is now completed. Then work 2 chains. Make a slip stitch. Followed by 4 more chains. In the chain space below, make a slip stitch. Another cluster is now completed. Next, everyone continue with this method, and crochet the remaining clusters. For the final slip stitch, you can pick up 1-2 strands of yarn below the turning chain to crochet. After completing it, fasten off normally. This way, the 4th round is completed. Continue to crochet the 5th round. First, find the chain space from the 3rd round. Right behind the first cluster of the 4th round. In this chain space, join the yarn. After completing it, make a chain stitch. In the same insertion point where you joined the yarn, work a single crochet. Then crochet 3 chains. Next, bring the bobble stitch from the 3rd round on the left side, forward like this. Then work a front post double crochet. That is, insert the hook into the gap on the right side of this bobble stitch. Come out on the left side. Yarn over once. And draw through with the hook. You can hide the yarn tail as you crochet. Draw the yarn through. You can appropriately enlarge the loop here, stretching it to about the same height as the right side. Yarn over, and draw the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. 2 loops remain. Yarn over again, and pull through all remaining loops at once. A front post double crochet is now completed. You can see that the method for a front post double crochet is the same as for a regular double crochet. It just differs in the insertion point. We'll refer to it simply as a front post stitch from now on. Work 3 more chains. So we have these 6 chains. 1 single crochet and 1 front post stitch, forming 1 cluster. Continue with the next cluster. Start by working 1 single crochet. In the chain space on the left side of the bobble stitch, pay attention that this is worked from the back. Then work 3 chains. On this bobble stitch, work a front post stitch. That means inserting the hook like this. Then work 3 more chains. The second cluster is now completed. Continue with this method, working each cluster one by one. After completing the last cluster, in the first single crochet, join with a slip stitch, and fasten off the yarn. Now, take a look. This is what it looks like after completing the 5th round. Continue to the 6th round. Refer to the pattern, using the corresponding color of yarn. In the 5th round, at the first single crochet, in the chain space on the left side, join the yarn. After completing, make 3 chain stitches. Then work 2 more chain stitches. On this front post stitch, work a front post stitch, which means inserting the hook like this. Then work 2 more chain stitches. In the left chain space, work a double crochet. Work 2 chain stitches. Now, we have essentially completed one cluster. Continue with the second cluster. In these 2 chain spaces, work 1 double crochet in each. On this front post double crochet, work a front post stitch. After completing the double crochet or front post stitch, work 2 chain stitches. Another cluster is completed. Repeat this process. Continue crocheting clusters. Complete this round. Once done, slip stitch join to the third chain. Note: do not cut the yarn here. The 6th round is completed. After completing the first 6 rounds, move on to the 7th round. Here, I'll explain using the finished product. For the 7th round, crochet single crochet into the chain spaces and stitches. After completing it, proceed to the 8th round. For the 8th round, join a new yarn and correspondingly make single crochet when crocheting the corresponding stitch count. You also need to pick up one strand from the top of the 4th round cluster. Later, double crochet increases and single crochet increases are used, which means making 2 stitches in the same position. Later on, you can refer to the diagram to complete the 11th round. Pay attention to changing colors according to the diagram while crocheting. Don't cut the yarn after completing it. Continue with the same yarn to crochet the 12th round. Start with 4 chain stitches. Then, in the adjacent stitch, work a DC5 popcorn stitch. First, make 5 double crochets. Then, stretch the loop. Remove the crochet hook from the first double crochet and draw the loop through. Then, make a slip stitch to secure it. This completes one DC5 popcorn stitch. Next, chain 4 more. Then, work a slip stitch in the adjacent stitch. Tidy up a bit, making sure the popcorn stitch stands out. Leave a bit of tail and fasten off the yarn. Leave the yarn tail for now. Consider the stitches I just crocheted as one group. Now, move on to the next group. Take out the corresponding color yarn. Skip 5 stitches. Join the yarn in the 6th stitch. Then crochet 4 chain stitches. In the next stitch on the left side, work a DC5 popcorn stitch. Followed by 4 more chains. Continue with a slip stitch in the adjacent stitch. Then leave a bit of tail and fasten off the yarn. For this round, skip 5 stitches in between, and alternate crocheting with the corresponding colors. Follow the chart to complete this round. This finishes round 12. Now you can trim the yarn tails that have been woven in. Move on to round 13. This round also uses 2 colors for alternating crochet work. Join the yarn in the stitch next to where you joined the yarn in round 12. Then work a single crochet in the same position, where you joined the yarn. Next, in the chain space from round 12, crochet 3 single crochets. Secure the yarn tail from joining. Then work 4 double crochets. Follow by picking up the popcorn stitch and secure it with a chain. Crochet a loose slip stitch. Then pick up the chain space on the left side and crochet 4 double crochets. As you crochet here, secure the previously reserved yarn tail. And 3 single crochets. Next, in the slip stitch from round 12, work a single crochet in the adjacent stitch. Finally, crochet a chain to secure. Leave a bit of tail and fasten off the yarn. Secure some of the yarn tails and cut. Then use another color scheme. And at the next joining position, in the adjacent stitch, join the yarn and crochet the same stitch pattern as here. Continue alternating between these 2 color schemes as you crochet down. Work this round completely. Weave in the yarn tails as you crochet. Once completed, round 13 will be finished. Now let's move on to round 14. First, at the single crochet near where round 13 began, join the yarn in the adjacent stitch. In the same position, work a single crochet. Then, in the single crochet from the chain space, work a single crochet in each. Weave in the yarn tails. Next, work a single crochet in the adjacent double crochet. Continue by working a double crochet with 4 stitches placed on one stitch. That is, work 4 double crochets in the same position. Then, work a slip stitch in the adjacent stitch. Next, pick up the chain formed by the slip stitch. Work a double crochet with 4 stitches placed on one stitch again. Weave in the previously left yarn tail. Then refer to the pattern to continue crocheting. After completing, leave a bit of tail and fasten off the yarn. Next, join a new yarn with a contrasting color in the adjacent stitch and continue crocheting. From here, use these 2 color schemes and alternate crocheting while referring to the pattern. Work this round completely. After completing, round 14 will be finished. Weave in all the previously left yarn tails. Since some of the yarn tails have already been hidden, trim off the excess. Now, let's move on to round 15. Join the yarn in the first double crochet of any group. Then pick up the stitch and work a single crochet. For slip stitches, pick up the chain and work a slip stitch. Continue to complete this group. When you encounter a gap, pick up the remaining single crochet from round 11 and work a treble crochet. Yarn over twice. Insert the hook, pull the yarn through. Then yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this 3 times. After completing, this treble crochet should be roughly level in height with this cluster. Continue to work this round completely, referring to the chart. After completing the last treble crochet, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Then leave a bit of tail and fasten off the yarn. This completes round 15. Hide the yarn tail on the wrong side. Next, work slip stitches in round 8 and round 11. Take the corresponding color yarn. Start by joining the yarn to any stitch in round 8. Then work a slip stitch in each stitch. After completing, leave a bit of tail and fasten off the yarn to weave in the ends. Pull the yarn tail through the first slip stitch. Then, pull the yarn tail through the last slip stitch to the wrong side. This creates a neat texture for finishing. Finally, hide the yarn tail on the wrong side. Follow the same method to work slip stitch decorations in round 11. Continue by referring to the chart to complete it. That concludes the slip stitch decoration. After completing the slip stitch decoration, refer to the chart to work round 16-17. For round 16, insert the hook under the back loop only for single crochets, and finish with a treble crochet to join with the first stitch. Then, work round 17. After completing, leave a bit of tail and fasten off the yarn. Next, press the piece flat. Now, proceed to the final round. For this round, wrap around the circle as you crochet. Take out the circle and join the yarn first. Make one turning chain. Then work the corresponding number of single crochets. Note that this part might be a bit tricky. Please be patient. Continue working until you reach the stitch before the one with the lead thread. When you reach the corresponding position, take out the piece. At the same time, pick up the chain space and the circle to crochet together. Follow the chart to complete this round all the way down. For the last single crochet, make sure to wrap around the chain. After completing, pick up the first single crochet and join with a slip stitch. Leave a bit of tail and fasten off the yarn. Then adjust the last round. This completes the final round. Next, let's sew on the decorative beads. Sew the beads onto the corresponding rounds. Now, let's sew. Cut a piece of thread from the same color as our one, about 15 cm. Then extract 2 strands. Insert into a thin needle. Next, take out a red flat bead. Sew it onto the first round. First, secure the tail on the wrong side of the piece. Then start sewing. After sewing, tie off and weave in the tail on the wrong side. Cut about 60 cm of thread from the same color as the 5th round. Extract 2 strands. Thread them into a needle. Then secure the tail on the wrong side. I have already prepared this part. Then on each front post stitch of the 5th round, sew a wool bead. After sewing one bead, Carry the yarn across to the inside. To the next front post stitch position. Then sew another wool bead on that stitch. Continue sewing the beads in this manner until you finish this section. After sewing the last bead, tie off on the wrong side and secure the tail. Next, between the 9th and 10th rounds, alternately sew circular flat half beads and teardrop flat half beads. Use the same color yarn from these 2 rounds to sew them together. Continue to sew it up referring to the finished product. That concludes the section on decorative beads. Up to this point, we have covered the main part. Next, let's learn about 3 types of hanging decorations. The first type consists of larger fabric pieces and beads. The second type is made entirely of beads. The third type comprises smaller fabric pieces and beads. Let's start by making the first type of hanging decoration. It is made up of a fabric piece and string beads. The crocheting method for the first 5 rounds of the fabric piece is identical to the first 5 rounds of the main part. Refer to the chart for specific color schemes. For the 6th round, refer to the diagram and crochet accordingly. In the final round, work single crochets with a leading thread. You need to wrap around both the chain stitches from the 6th round, and 1 yarn from the top of each cluster in the 4th round. Continue to crochet it following the chart. After completing it, sew a flat-bottomed half bead onto the first round. Sew wool beads onto each single crochet in the 6th round. Finish by sewing it up as described. That concludes the explanation of the fabric piece. Next, let's make the bead strings. There are a total of 4 strings. Let's start with the one in the middle at the bottom. It consists of beads and tassels. First, we'll make the tassel. Cut a piece of cardboard that is about 5 cm long and around 3 cm wide. Then, according to your personal preference, use the remaining yarn from the main part, or use the yarn in the corresponding color based on the finished product. For each color on the cardboard, wrap the corresponding number of rounds. After wrapping, cut a yarn tail about 30 cm long and wrap it around the top for the corresponding number of rounds. Finally, cut another yarn tail about 40 cm long and wrap it around the bottom about 1 cm down for the corresponding number of rounds. Refer to the chart for the exact number of rounds. Here is the method for making the tassel. Learn the method first and then follow the chart to make it. Once made, set it aside for later use. The method for making the tassel. Prepare a piece of thick cardboard that is the same length as the desired tassel length. That is, if the tassel needs to be 6 cm long, the thick cardboard should also be 6 cm long. First, cut 2 lengths of yarn tails and set them aside. Then, wrap the yarn around the cardboard. Determine the number of wraps based on actual needs, or the amount of remaining yarn. If you need to make a multicolored tassel, combine the required colors together. Wrap them together around the cardboard. Be mindful not to wrap too tight. After wrapping the desired number of rounds, take one of the prepared yarn tails. Insert it through the loops on the cardboard. Then tie a knot to secure it. Pull the yarn tail tight. Insert it again. Tie a knot. Secure it firmly. Then remove the loops from the cardboard. Cut off the yarn tails. Cut the threads at the bottom. Trim them to be even. Next, take another piece of yarn. Position it about 1 centimeter below the top. Wrap a few rounds. Tie a knot to secure it. Once it is securely fastened, hide the yarn tail inside the tassel. Then trim the bottom slightly. You can use the yarn tail from the top to attach the tassel to the fabric. This way, the tassel is completed. After finishing the tassel, let's move on to making the string of beads. First, cut a piece of thread, about 40 centimeter long. Thread it through a sewing needle. Pass it through the loop at the top of the tassel. Thread this yarn tail through the sewing needle as well. After that, thread on 4 mixed beads. Try to choose colors as evenly as possible. Next, add a wool bead. Then a yellow glass bead. Followed by another wool bead. Next, add a wooden bead. Then insert the needle into a bead that is symmetrically positioned below the wooden bead. Finally, secure it to the last round of the fabric piece. Sew it onto the position where the yarn tail is left in the last round symmetrically. That is, align it between these two groups. Here, I will demonstrate the method using any fabric piece. After securing it, make a knot. Then weave in the ends inside the bead. When you reach the position of the wooden bead, cut off the yarn tail. This completes one bead string. Next, let's make the bead strings on both sides. The making method is roughly the same as for the middle string, except that the number of beads is different, and you start by inserting a glass leaf bead. Let me demonstrate the method now. First, insert a glass leaf bead. Then thread the other yarn tail into a sewing needle as well. Next, insert the corresponding beads. Everyone refer to the chart to string the remaining beads. After completing it, follow the same method. Secure it to the last round. Sewing it with an interval from the middle bead string. After sewing, tie off with a knot as well. Hide the yarn tail inside the beads. Then make another string symmetrically, and sew it in place. Next, let's go over the beads on top. Thread the reserved yarn tail into a sewing needle. Then insert the corresponding beads. Finally, secure it to the main piece. At the position symmetrical to where the reserved yarn tail is. Secure it well, and hide the yarn tail inside the beads. That concludes the first type of hanging decoration. Next, let's go over the second type of hanging decoration. There are two identical ones. Both start with making tassels. Then insert the corresponding beads and finally secure them to the main piece. Space them about 30 single crochets apart from the large hanging decoration and secure. On the other side, secure in the symmetrical position. Continue on your own to complete this part. Next, let's go over the third type of hanging decoration. There are two identical ones as well. The making method is the same. Start by crocheting the fabric piece, then sew on the beads. First, refer to the chart to crochet the fabric piece. Pay attention, the last round needs to wrap around the metal ring. The single crochet with the yarn tail, should also wrap around the chain stitches of round 2. Everyone, follow the diagram to crochet the piece well. After completing it, leave a tail of about 20 cm. Then use the same color yarn from the first 2 rounds of the main piece. Pull out 2 strands. Sew a flat bottom bead at the center. Then sew a mixed bead on each single crochet of round 2. The sewing method is the same as before. Everyone, complete it on your own. Finally, make the bead strings. The method is also the same as before. After completing the first string, secure it at a symmetrical position from the reserved yarn tail. For the 2 adjacent strings, secure it a little below these 2 single crochets. Finally, use the reserved yarn tail to make the bead string at the top. After completing it, secure it to the main piece. Space it about 24 single crochets apart from the second hanging decoration. After completing the other one, secure it in the corresponding position. That concludes the third type of hanging decoration. Lastly, let's make the hanging string. First, crochet about a 16 cm shrimp stitch. The exact length can also be adjusted according to personal preference. Then sew it to the corresponding position. First, learn how to crochet the shrimp stitch. Leave about 15 cm of yarn tail before starting, and after finishing. Here's the crochet method for the shrimp stitch. Start by learning the method. Then proceed with crocheting. Now, I will demonstrate the crochet method for the shrimp stitch. Begin with a slip knot, and make a foundation chain. Crochet 2 chain stitches. Then insert the hook into the back loop of the first chain stitch. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over again. Pull the yarn through the 2 loops. Keep the hook stationary. Turn the fabric piece below clockwise. Then, pick up these 2 strands of yarn with the hook. Yarn over. Draw through. Yarn over again. Pull through the loops on the hook. Continue turning the fabric piece clockwise. Pick up these 2 strands of yarn with the hook. Yarn over. Work a single crochet. Continue turning the fabric piece clockwise. Pick up the same 2 strands as before, and work a single crochet. Repeat this method continuously. Turn the fabric piece clockwise. Then pick up the 2 vertical strands in the upper left, and work a single crochet. After crocheting to the desired length, secure with 1 chain stitch. Leave a tail. Cut the yarn. If sewing is needed, leave long yarn tails. This is the crocheting technique of shrimp stitch. After completing the shrimp stitch, thread both reserved yarn tails onto a darning needle. Then thread a wooden bead. Finally, secure at the position of the reserved yarn tails. Then hide the yarn tails inside the wooden bead. Also hide the main piece's reserved yarn tails inside the wooden bead. This completes the hanging string. Up to this point, we have finished the Dreamcatcher. Next, let's learn how to make a car hanging decoration. It also consists of crochet pieces and beaded strings. The top part here is the hanging string. First, crochet the fabric piece, then make the bead string. The method of making the bead string is the same as the method used for the sides of the first type of hanging decoration. The hanging string is made in the same way as the Dreamcatcher's hanging string. Moving forward, everyone can follow the previously learned methods to complete it. Next, let's learn how to crochet a coaster. The crocheting method is the same as the first 15 rounds of the Dreamcatcher's main part. The slip stitch decoration is also the same. After completing it, give it a light press with an iron. Then, between the 9th and 10th rounds, sew the bottom beads alternately. Everyone refer to the pattern to also complete the coaster. Next, let's learn how to make the earrings. There are 2 identical ones. The method is almost the same as the third type of hanging decoration on the Dreamcatcher. Note that beads need to be sewn on both sides. After completing them, proceed to make the bead string. The 3 strings at the bottom are the same as the third type of hanging decoration on the Dreamcatcher. For the string at the top, you only need to thread 2 wool beads and 1 glass bead. Then insert it into the ring of the ear clip or ear hook. Tie a knot to secure it. Weave in the ends inside the beads. That concludes the earrings tutorial. Finally, let's make the sweater chain. It consists of crochet pieces, bead strings, and hanging strings. The making method for the crochet pieces and bead strings is the same as for the earrings. The method for making the hanging strings is similar to that of a Dreamcatcher, just with different lengths for the shrimp stitch. For the finished product, the shrimp stitch length is approximately 60 cm. You can also adjust the specific length according to your actual situation. That concludes the sweater chain tutorial. Up to this point, we have covered everything about this product. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life.